Love him or hate him, Karl-Anthony Towns is undeniably one of the most talented shooting bigs in NBA history. Since 2019, Cat averages 7 attempted threes per game, which leads all centers, and he makes them at a 40% clip. However, scoring and playmaking from the post has not been his strong suit. Cat's biggest issue is turning the ball over. He often catches it, holds it a little more, and then tries to do a bad Nikola Jokic impression with telegraphed overhead passes to nobody. Intent to play make is not a bad quality, but Towns has an elite skill, and it's scoring, not passing. Over the past month, there's been a shift. Cat's catching the ball and more regularly making a decisive move like this one against Anthony Davis, quickly turning toward the baseline before going back into the paint for a righty hook. Towns loves utilizing the left elbow since he can go baseline toward the rim like he does here against Jarrett Allen, or he can show off a step back jumper like he does here against Jokic. And sometimes he drives right toward the middle of the floor. With his explosive first step and his strength, he's hard to contain. But with defenses switching so often, he'll often have a wing or a guard against him, and he's going straight into moves to take advantage. Towns is wasting less time using his size to bury opponents inside, and he's looking to score first, pass second. It shows in the numbers too. Over his first 16 games, Towns passed on 50% of all of his post-ups and shot on only 20% of them, according to Second Spectrum. Then he changed his habits all of a sudden. Since then, Towns is shooting the ball on 41% of his post-ups and passing on just 38% of them. A more balanced diet is leading to better results. Towns is averaging more points over this recent stretch, drawing more fouls, and doing it all with more consistency. There's less passing, more shooting, less record scratching, more flowing in the rhythm of the offense, and this is exactly what Minnesota needs. The thing that's so interesting is how his teammate Anthony Edwards has been openly encouraging him to do more of it.
I tell him that all the time, like, you waiting, bro. Like, you sitting there with the ball holding it like this, and they come and then you want to, you know what I'm saying? Then you try to go. Like, nah, when you catch it, go boom. Now what? Like, they can't guard you, bro. Like, I be telling this every game. Every practice, like, bro, nobody can guard you. Like, you shoot the ball, you quick, you can handle the ball, you got touch, like, you got everything, bro. Like, they can't guard you, bro.
Edwards is 100% correct, and I'm glad he's pushing his teammate. He's really growing into the leader of the Wolves, and it does seem to be influencing Towns with the way he's playing. Even Towns recently called himself the best big man shooter ever, and I wouldn't go that far because of Dirk Nowitzki, but Cat has the upside to tap into. But can he keep this up? That's the big question here. He's never really been more than an above average scorer on the post, and turnovers have always been a problem, and they still are. And it doesn't help him on the post when the Timberwolves are playing with so many non-shooters because they need those guys out there for defense. This is a good example against the Blazers. Patrick Beverley waves on Jaden McDaniels to motion out of the corner, and that's to give Towns space for a post-up. But look at their spacing as Cat catches it. Edwards and Jared Vanderbilt are both chilling in the same corner, and Vanderbilt is a poor shooter as is. And so is McDaniel standing there at the wing. As the triple team comes at Cat, Vanderbilt cuts inside, but that's a hard pass to make. And Beverly shoots a good career percentage on spot-up threes, but he's not a shooter with a sense for relocating. He's here, which is a bad passing angle for Towns when he should have been closer to the corner sooner. And then after Cat travels, Beverly gets angry with him for not passing the ball, but it's not all Towns' fault in this instance when at one point 4 defenders were in the paint. There are plenty of instances he is in the wrong though. Towns is often a beat slow making reads. He just doesn't have the vision or the passing accuracy of some of the best post bigs we've seen. And as we got into earlier, sometimes he tries passes he has no business attempting. He can pass a little bit though, and at least he's willing to move the ball, but at his core, Towns is a scorer. That's why I love how Edwards encourages him to be who he is. Be a scorer, that's what you are. Passing should come second, and that's true regardless of the play type. When he's sharing the court with non-shooters, it's important for Chris Finch to get him going in different ways, and I truly believe that Cat should be taking even more threes with his level of shooting touch. And maybe he's not there yet with his development, but what he could do is make an investment during the offseason with his training to become a guy who can balance himself off screens and handoffs. Why not be like a Duncan Robinson or a Buddy Hield? Why place limits on himself? There's no such thing as positions in the NBA today anyway. He has the touch and feel if he puts the time in, because when he's on the floor with those non-shooters, Towns can already already be a shooter or a weapon setting on-ball screens, why not become even more? And if he's on the floor with shooters, Towns can be the interior guy if he keeps being decisive the way he has been lately. Towns undeniably is one of the most dynamic scorers in the NBA, yet there's more there. Some of that's on him, some of that's on the Wolves. They need to acquire more two-way players to give Cat the best chance at finding success. But teammates and coaches can only push him so much. Ultimately, it's on Towns to do what he can do to reach his full potential. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of The Void. We have a podcast version of The Void, which you can hear every Wednesday on the Mismatch podcast feed, and you can find a link to that in the description below. While you're there, please like this video and subscribe to The Ringer. Thank you again for watching. I hope you have a fun day.